Every morning, Strauss runs straight to the chicken coop and stands by the door as if he is saying, "Open the door. My baby is in there." If he is not allowed inside, he will sit there patiently and refuse to leave. And inside the coop, a little chick named Wilson immediately runs towards Strauss, like he has been waiting for his best friend all along. If you only saw those moments, you would never believe that Wilson is a chicken and Strauss is a big dog. But what makes this story even more surprising is that just a few months earlier, Strauss was the dog we worried about most whenever he got close to the chicks. We never thought we would be able to trust him around them. Strauss came to the farm when he was less than a month old. He was tiny, but he had endless energy. Every day, Strauss ran around trying to meet every animal on the farm. He chased after the goats, barking excitedly as if he was asking them to play, and then he would race over to the chicken coop to see what was happening there. From the very first moment he saw the chicks, Strauss was fascinated by them. Whenever he spotted a tiny chicken, he would run as fast as he could toward it. But the problem was, Strauss did not understand the difference between playing with another dog and playing with a creature that weighed only a few ounces. Strauss never wanted to hurt them. He was simply too excited. Sometimes he would touch the chicks a little too roughly, and we would have to step in immediately. Honestly, there were moments when I wondered if Strauss would ever learn how to be gentle with such tiny animals. So every time I cared for the chicks, I allowed Strauss to stay nearby and watch. I wanted him to learn that these little creatures needed to be treated with patience and care. At first, he only sat there observing, but then I noticed something changing. Strauss began checking on the chicks by himself every day, even when I never called him over. Then, one day, only one egg successfully hatched. That tiny chick was named Wilson. None of us knew that this little bird would completely change Strauss forever. From the very first meeting, Strauss was different with Wilson. He did not rush toward him like before. Instead, he slowly lowered his head, gently sniffed him, and then stepped back. It was almost as if Strauss understood that the tiny creature in front of him was more fragile than anything he had ever met. To be honest, I was still nervous. Wilson was so small, while Strauss was many times bigger. One careless movement could have been dangerous. So during those first few meetings, I watched them closely and never took my eyes away. But Strauss surprised all of us. He almost never left Wilson's side. When Wilson slept, Strauss would lie beside him. When Wilson wandered around, Strauss quietly followed behind. And every time Wilson made a little sound, Strauss would immediately run over as if that call was meant only for him. After just a few days, Wilson started looking for Strauss too. Even though there were other chicks nearby, Wilson always preferred running toward his giant friend. Somehow, Strauss had become the place where Wilson felt safest. From that moment on, the two of them were almost always together. Strauss still did his usual farm activities, but the second he heard Wilson calling, he would stop everything and come running back. Sometimes, I honestly felt like Strauss truly believed Wilson was his own baby. Every morning, Strauss waits outside the chicken coop for Wilson to wake up. As soon as the door opens, Wilson runs straight toward him and Strauss starts wagging his tail like a proud father seeing his little baby again. What touches me the most is that Strauss seems to want the whole world to know about Wilson. Whenever someone visits the farm, Strauss walks beside Wilson with so much pride, almost as if he is saying, "Look, this is my baby." Watching them together, I often forget that one is a dog and the other is a chicken. They are simply two friends who find happiness in being together. They do not need to be the same species. They do not need to look alike. They only need trust. I do not know how long this friendship will last, but every morning when I see Strauss waiting impatiently outside the coop for Wilson to come out, I cannot help but smile. Maybe Strauss will never understand that Wilson is not actually his baby, and maybe that does not matter at all. I once worried that Strauss's instincts would prevent him from living peacefully with the chicks, but Wilson changed everything. He taught Strauss how to be gentle, patient, and protective of someone much smaller than himself. Sometimes family is not created by blood or by being the same species. Sometimes all it takes is a heart big enough to see someone as your own, and that is where a truly special kind of love begins.